So here's the age-old question.
Do you work better when you're listening to music
or in complete silence?
My name is Anna Toner.
Danny Whalen.
Daniel Kahn.
Danielle Iacovelli.
And the four of us wanted to know if it was easier to focus on a simple task.
Whether it was easier to focus on a simple task.
Whether it was simpler to focus on a simple whether it was easy.
The four of us wanted to know whether it was easier to complete a simple task with silence,
soft music,
or loud music.
So we did a little experiment.
You're given a simple memory game.
48 cards, 24 pairs.
As much time as you need.
Alright, at the end of the song,
the cards are face down and you can flip 2 at a time.
If they're not a match, you put both cards face down again.
And you do this until you find a match.
Then you keep at it until you find all the pairs.
We had 3 groups.
Group A played the game with soft music.
Group B played the game with loud music.
And the control group, Group C, played with no sound at all.
We put noise-canceling headphones on the players' ears.
Even the silent group, so that it would cut out all the other sound in the room.
For the rest of them, we played a little song we figured everyone would be familiar with.
Semi-Charmed Life by Third Eye Blind.
We chose the song because it was catchy and something we were all probably familiar with from the past.
Just about everyone's heard it.
It was something that played in everyone's car in the 1990s, and it was something they would sort of harken back to.
Sing along, get distracted, get into the music.
Our hypothesis was that the people who listened to loud music while performing the memory game would actually complete it better or quicker.
This is because we thought the loud music would be the easiest to cancel out, as opposed to the soft music, which you would be constantly trying to figure out what it was, trying to make out the words, especially if it's a familiar song.
And, you know, the choruses, which they could barely hear, would sort of attract them and distract them from the memory task at hand.
We had 7 subjects in each group.
We had 21 people complete the experiment, so that wasn't that many.
But it's as much as you can get from a bunch of busy college students. We tested all 21 people in the same environment, under the same conditions, each of them wearing the noise-canceling headphones, no matter what group they were in. And we would stand outside and time them on a stopwatch. We had wildly varied results, 2.5 minutes, 12.5 minutes.
So our results actually showed that our hypothesis was correct. The group who was listening to loud music while performing the task actually completed it much quicker than the other 2.
As opposed to the group with silence, who did the worst.
And the soft group performed in the middle. Loud music is the easiest to cancel out, therefore people perform better when doing a simple memory task.
We think that maybe the reason behind this is that loud sound provides sort of a vessel for all of your distraction to sort of channel itself through. Whereas with soft music or complete silence, you are still going to have a tendency to get distracted, but it's going to have nowhere to go, so it can interrupt this train of thought. It can interrupt the train of thought that's directed at the memory game, so you have all of this white noise. When you have loud music playing, you have to mentally shout over it in order to perform the simple task.
Our experiment turned out to be an example of successful multitasking. The only time multitasking does work efficiently, Mayer says, is when multiple simple tasks operate on entirely separate channels. For example, folding laundry, a visual manual task, while listening to a stock report, a verbal task. But real-world scenarios that fit those specifications are very rare.
Our experiment took a visual task, the memory game, and paired it with listening to music, an auditory task. Because the 2 tasks were different, it appears that maybe our subjects were successfully multitasking, and music didn't distract them at all.
I think what we've taken away from this experiment is that if you're multitasking, and people are always multitasking, it can be beneficial to have these things in black and white, to know what it is that you're trying to focus your attention on and what is the distraction. Because if you can recognize these things, you're more likely to accept that something is distracting you and fight to ignore it, or at least urge yourself to pay closer attention to the task at hand that you want to complete. Attention and distraction.